हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। हाय आई एम सनी एंड आई एम अ सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर। आज इस वीडियो में हम एक और हेलो डीसी सीरीज का नेक्स्ट प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने जा रहे हैं। प्रॉब्लम का नाम है ग्रुप एनाग्राम्स और इसका जो डिफिकल्टी लेवल है वो है मीडियम। ये वन ऑफ द पॉपुलर क्वेश्चन है जो अक्सर इंटरव्यूज में पूछे जाते हैं इन अ गुड प्रोडक्ट बेस्ड कंपनीज। सो एंड तक देखना, आई होप यू विल लर्न समथिंग न्यू टुडे। सो लेट्स गो थ्रू द प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट। फर्स्ट विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट, ठीक है, एंड देन विल ट्राई टू कम अप विद अ नाइस सॉल्यूशन, ठीक है, एंड विल सी व्हाट इज द टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी एंड स्पेस कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी फॉर दैट सॉल्यूशन, एंड देन विल ट्राई टू ऑप्टिमाइज, ठीक है। सो लेट्स सी व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट। द प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट ओवर हियर इज गिवन एन array of string strs, group the anagrams together, okay, you can return the answer in any order. Okay, let's see what is an anagram. Anagram is a word or phrase formed by rearranging the letters of a different word or phrase, typically using all the original letters exactly once. So if you see this example, they'll provide an array of strings, okay, and then we just need to return a group of anagrams. Basically the words which are anagram, we just need to group them and we need to return back our list of list. So इसको समझने का ट्राई करते हैं iPad पे. We'll try to understand this question better, ठीक है. So here we are given a string array, ठीक है, जहाँ पे we have few words eat, tea, then we have tan, then we have ate, nat and bat. Okay, and what is the task here? The task here to identify the anagram, right? So what is anagram? Anagram is nothing but, let's say you are given this word eat and tea, right? Now these two are anagram. How? Because if you see the characters over here are similar in both the strings. जहाँ पे if you see यहाँ पे we have e, we also have e in the second string, then we have a, we also have a in the second string, we have t, we also have t in the second string. So anagram किसको बोलते हैं? Wherever all the characters of one string are present in another string with same number of frequency. So just to understand it more clearly, let's say we have this string anagram, okay, and then we have this another word which is something like this, right? If you see both of them having characters a 3 times, then they have one g, then they have one n, m and r. Similarly here also, if you just get all the characters, you will find that number of characters in both the strings are same with similar frequency, right? So in a way, in order to find if two strings are anagram or not, first of all the length of them has to be same. Both the string length has to be same. Then only we can just check if all the characters present in one word should be present in another word also with the same frequency count. Okay, I hope anagram part is clear. मैंने अपने पिछले वीडियो में भी anagram के ऊपर एक प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व किया था. अगर anagram आपको क्लियर नहीं है तो एक बार वो वीडियो भी देख लेना, वो काफी इंपॉर्टेंट वीडियो है इंटरव्यूज के लिए. So that would be helpful. But I hope यहाँ पे anagram तो हमें समझ आ गया. Now the next task of it is कि हमें ग्रुप करना है. Let's say in this case we need to return our result as a list of list. So first group में we will have eat, then we have tea. Okay, so ये पहला ग्रुप बनेगा. I guess इसमें एक और आएगा, 8 भी आएगा. So we will also have 8. So अगर if you see all these 3 words having all the characters but they are jumbled up, ठीक है. Now the other group would be tan and nat. Okay, and then we have one more which is bat, right? So now finally we got 3 groups of anagrams. So ये basically हमें find out करना है. So we learn about the input format and the output format, right? कि ऐसा आपको एक array of strings मिलेंगे and then we need to provide back the group of anagrams, right? So now the major challenge over here is how would you form these groups, right? Because we know, right, comparing two words and finding out if they are anagram, it's simple, right? You can write a method where you can pass 2 words and then you can have your logic where you will be checking if both of them are having similar number of characters with similar frequency, right? So the major challenge over here is how would we group these words, right, which are anagram, right? So what we can think of here is if we can just identify some key, right? Like eventually we should be able to find out key which all words are anagram, but how would you group them? So what we can do, we can simply maintain a map of some string and let's say some list, right, list of strings. And what we can do for every word, if we can simply sort this, right, because this is one of the if you are given a problem where you just need to find out if 2 words are anagram or not, what would you be doing is you will be sorting the words, right? After sorting you will find, let's say I'm trying with tea and eat. Okay, so if you sort them you will get AET for both the words, right? And then eventually you can match them and say कि ये anagram है, right? In the similar manner, what I'm trying to do is, in order to form a key so that we can put it in a map, so let me just clearly write it down what we are trying to do. So let's say we have a map over here and the structure of the map is string, which will be your key, and then list of string, which will hold the group of anagrams. So this is your structure. Now what I'm saying, for every word I'll sort the characters. So let's say for eat, I will sort the character and will form a key. So now my map will have a key with AET as a string. And then here we can simply put eat in a list. Okay. Similarly, when we reach to the next word, what we can do, we can sort it again. Like we will simply sort the characters of it. We will get AET, right? Because these 2 are anagram. So once you get the same key, you will eventually pull out this list, right, with that key from the map, and then we can add t in the same list, right? So now this list will have t. Okay, similarly we'll do for tan. Now for tan the key would be ANT, right? And then again we'll form a list, we'll add tan. Now we'll move to the next word which is 8. Again it will form a key AET and then we'll add 8 over here, right? Similarly we'll now move to the next word which is nat. which will again give you a key as A and T, and then you should be able to add it in this list, right? So it's simple, right? What we are doing over here is we are sorting the characters of each and every word, we are forming the key out of it, we are putting it in the map as a key, and then we are adding a list with this key, right? And in this key, for every word which is having the same key, we will just keep putting those words inside this list, right? That is doable, right? Once you see the code, it will get more clear. Just hold on with me. So now the next word is bat. For bat, we don't have any key existing, so we'll form another key. After sorting, you will get ABT, and then you will form a list with the word bat. Now, if you see, we are done iterating over this string of arrays. We are done for every word. We've created a map of string to list, which is now having all the groups. Now, we cannot return this map, right? Because the expected return type is list of list. So what we can do, we can simply get all the values. We can simply do map.values, or like similar function in different languages. You can simply fetch all the values of the map, and then you can put it in some list and then return it. Okay. So I hope this is clear. Let me talk about the time and space complexity for this. In this case, what we are doing, we are iterating over this string array, and then what we are doing for every word, we are sorting the characters. So sorting, we generally know that for sorting, we'll be requiring n log n, right? So for every word, we are iterating. Let's say if we have m number of words, m is the number of words. Okay, so we need to sort m times, right? So eventually we can say it is order of m cross n. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Okay, now can we further optimize this? Is there a better way? Can we do the similar thing without sorting? Because if you see, sorting here takes some extra time, right? N log n, right? Can we do the similar stuff without sorting? So the answer is yes, we can do. The only thing which you have to do, instead of sorting each and every character, right, what we care about is the frequency of each character in each word, right? So instead of using string, हम लोग क्या कर सकते हैं? We can simply use a frequency array, right? So what I mean by that is, let's say you have this word EAT and ATE, right? So instead of sorting them, what we can do, as if you see, let me show you on the problem statement, there is a constraint which says the input will only have lowercase English characters. So what we can do, we can maintain a count array. Okay, what this count array will have, it will have an array of frequency which will starting from 0 to 25. Okay, so it will have all the characters starting from A, B, C to Z, right? So whenever you see any character, you can just increment the count. So let's say for ATE, I'll be just incrementing the count to 1, somewhere T would be 1, and then somewhere E would be 1, right? In this form, let's say this is your array where you just increment the count for the characters you're having in the words. तो उसमें क्या होगा, you just increase few of the, let's say this is somewhere this is A, and somewhere this is E, and somewhere this is T. So only for those character you will be incrementing the count, right? So and other will still be remaining 0, right? So this is the count array. It will have 0, 1, 2, 3 till 25, right? So eventually you will get a string out of this count array which looks something like this, right? Something like this you will find, right? So instead of sorting, what we can do, we can simply compare the count array, like use this count array as a key, the way we were doing it, right? Here जो sorting का purpose था, just to get this key. What I'm saying कि the same thing can be done in the similar way. We can form a key out of this count array, right? So let me just make it more clear. Let's say we have this letter ABC. Okay, now let's say this is your array A, B, C, and then you have some more characters till Z, which will, all of them will remain 0, right? And you will increment the characters ABC. So once you try to form a key out of it, you will get something like 1, 1, 1, and remaining characters will be 0, right? So this will become your key. Similarly, if you have a word given as cab, again you will be just iterating over this string, and then you will be just incrementing the count array, and then eventually you will get this array only, right? But here there is one trick, like in this way you are able to form the key, and then in the similar manner you can put it in the map, you can form the list in the similar manner what I have explained in the first approach. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे एक चीज which you have to handle differently. Just imagine कि let's say there is a string for which the count is 10. Let's say you are given a string as a, and this is 10a. ठीक है, तो how your this count array will look like this will be your count array in which your this thing A would be the first index and then the remaining, right? So first index would be 0, 1, 0. So let's say कि आपके string में 10 A है, right? The count would be 1, right? So eventually when you convert this to a key, your key will look something like 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, something like this, right? Whereas in the similar manner, there could be another string which can have different character B with the same frequency count 10, right? Now that would also look something like 0, 1, 0, 0, 0. So eventually it might conflict, like though the words will be different, but your count array will give a similar key. I'll show you on the code, that will get more clear. But abhi ke liye samajh lo, if we get something like 1, 0, then eventually your key will be distorted. Like it might happen that for two different string you may get same key, right? Just to avoid that, what we can do, after every character, let's say this is the key, this is the count array for which we are trying to form a key. So it would be 1, then hash, then again, like for each count we will put a hash. Let's say this is a count 10, so something like this. So let me just explain it again. So let's say you have this ABC. Now your count array would be 1 1 1, right, and others will be 0. So when you are forming the key, just use hash in between them so that none of them get confused. So we will have something like this. Okay, so I'll show you what is the conflict here. I'll show you on the code, but for now you just understand that if you don't follow this pattern, you might get two same keys for two different words. Okay, so once you have this key formed, what you can do, you can follow the similar approach where you'll be forming this map where you'll be using your key and then you'll be adding your words. ठीक है, तो एक बार कोड देखते हैं, things will become more clear. ठीक है, in case आपको confusion लग रहा होगा तो एक बार और देख लेना वीडियो को, आपको समझ आ जाएगा. Once we see the code, then we'll talk about the time complexity. So let me show you the code. So this is the Java solution. यहाँ पे we have this method group anagram which takes a string array. ठीक है, and then we must be returning list of string. ठीक है, which is nothing but your anagram groups. ठीक है, so the first thing we do, we create a map of string and list of string where we'll be storing all the grouped anagram words. ठीक है, and then यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं, we are just iterating over the string array, right? And then for every string array, as I mentioned, we'll be maintaining a count. ठीक है, अब ये count क्या करेगा, like for every character हम क्या कर रहे हैं, उसका count we will increment. ठीक है, initially it will be 0 and whenever we find any character we will just increment the frequency for that. ठीक है, and once we are done with this, like for every word we are now forming the key using a string builder. String builder use करके what we can do, we can simply iterate through this count array and then we can simply append a hash and then the count of that particular character. ठीक है, so eventually this will form a key. ठीक है, now if you see, once you have the key, like you can do sb.toString, it will give you a key, and then in the hash map you can check if it is not present in the key. What you can do, you can put it in the hash map and then you can create a empty list, and then finally you can simply fetch the list using that key and then add your string in that particular list. Okay, so I hope that is simple, and at the end what we are doing, we are just creating a new array list and we are just fetching all the values from the list. Values here is nothing but your list of string. So eventually you'll be returning a list of list which will having all the grouped anagram. So I hope code is pretty simple. Let me run it for you and let me also show the case which I was mentioning, for which you need to add hash. ठीक है, so we have a few of the test cases ran. Let me add one more test case. ठीक है, यहाँ पे I'll add one more test case, so it will be like this. So यहाँ पे मैंने एक नया test case add किया है. यहाँ पे दो words है. If you see in this word you are having B and then D 10 times. Similarly in the second word we have B 10 times and C 1 times. ठीक है, let me run this for you. So we'll focus on the key, what kind of key it forms. So if you see the key over here, just because I have added hash, it forms a key which does not matches, right? It if you see at this place it is not matching. Here it is hash, here it is 0, right? If I just comment out this line and then I rerun this program, you will see that we will get same key. Now if you try to compare, and also the result is incorrect. Why? Because here the key is same. So ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है, key हमें same क्यों मिल रहा है? Because यहाँ पे B का count क्या है? B का count 1 है, right? So here if you see B is 1 and then D का count 10 है. So 10 is here, right? Whereas in the second word B का count 10 है, so this is 10, and then C का count 1 है, so this is C, right? So here you should be using some dummy characters so that your keys don't match for two different words. ठीक है, सो यही इंटेंशन था. आई गेस आपको कोड समझ आ गया होगा एंड ऑल्सो द एक्सप्लेनेशन. एक बार टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी देख लेते हैं. तो एक बार मैं यहाँ पे आपको आईपैड पे दिखा देता हूँ. तो प्रीवियस सॉल्यूशन का जो टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी था वो था n log n into m, because m is the number of words, and n log n for sorting each word, where n you can consider as average length of each word. Now in the second approach where we are not using sorting, we are just using a count array which is a constant space, right? तो उस केस में what we can say that अपना जो time complexity हो जाएगा that would be एक हो जाएगा traversing through the array, right? For each word we are traversing, which is m is the number of words, and then what we are doing for every word we are counting the characters, right? That would be n. So n is the average length of every word. So what we can say that the overall time complexity would be order of mn, right? एक बार और समझा देता हूँ. m is for iterating over the array for each word if you have n words, ठीक है? And n is for जो हम iterate करके count ले रहे हैं, right? We are considering one word and then we are iterating over it to count the frequency of each character, right? तो उस केस में if we consider that this string is of length n, then we can say it is taking n, order of n times. So overall it would be order of m cross n. ठीक है, and space complexity क्या होगा? Space complexity would be constant because we are using just a count array of 26, and as this does not vary with the input size, so we can consider this as a constant space. And one more question, why we are not considering map? Because here if you see, we are using this map to store the result, right? Though we are not returning map from the method, we are still storing the result in this map, right? That's why we don't generally consider. ठीक है, तो ये आप explain कर सकते हो अपने interviewer को. We are just using map to store the values so that we can return eventually. So I hope time and space complexity भी clear हो गया होगा. So इतना ही था इस वीडियो के लिए. I hope इस वीडियो में आपको कुछ नया सीखने को मिला होगा. अगर नया सीखने को मिला है तो प्लीज इस वीडियो को लाइक कर देना एंड शेयर कर देना. So मिलते हैं अब हेलो डीएसएस सीरीज के नेक्स्ट वीडियो में. तब तक के लिए बाय. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग.